Welcome back to Gentle Herb Living, where we bring soil back to life using nature's own wisdom. Today we're diving deep into one of the toughest problems gardeners face: sandy soil that refuses to hold water or nutrients. If you've ever watched your plants wilt 2 days after watering, no matter how rich your compost looks, you already know the frustration. But here's the good news. There's one incredible plant that can change the way your soil behaves: Borage. And once you understand how it works, you'll see why this humble herb might just be the best natural soil amendment you'll ever use. Why sandy soil needs more than compost to come alive. Sandy soil looks promising at first. It drains fast, warms up early in the season, and is easy to work with. But beneath those advantages lies a real problem. It simply can't hold on to nutrients or moisture. Compost helps, but if you've noticed it drying out after a few days, that's because compost particles are still too large to bind the way clay or loam does. You need something that physically changes the structure of your soil while feeding it biologically, and that's where Borage comes in. How Borage changes soil from the roots up. Borage, or Borage officinalis, isn't just another herb, it's actually a dynamic accumulator, a plant with deep taproots that reach far below the surface, mining minerals and nutrients most plants can't touch. Its roots draw up calcium, potassium, magnesium and silica, all the nutrients that sandy soils lack, and store them in their leaves and stems. When the plant dies back or is cut and dropped as mulch, those nutrients are released right where your soil needs them most. To understand how effective this is, consider this simple comparison. A 1 square meter patch of borage can contribute the same mineral content as 2 full buckets of compost. The reason is biological recycling. Instead of hauling in organic matter, borage brings it up from below and turns it into a living topsoil. How to use borage effectively in sandy soil. There are 2 main ways to use borage now: as a living green manure or as a nutrient mulch. If you're working with newly established sandy beds, start by sowing borage directly where you want to improve the soil. Use about 2 grams of seed per square meter. That's roughly a teaspoon. Lightly rake it into the surface and water well. Within 7 to 10 days, you'll see the first seedlings appear. Let the plants grow for 6 to 8 weeks or until they're about knee-high. At this stage, the roots are doing the real work underground, creating channels that break up compacted layers and improve moisture retention. Once flowering begins, cut the plants down to the soil surface. Don't pull the roots. Leave them in place to decompose naturally. This single step can improve soil texture within weeks, as those roots leave behind microchannels for air, water, and microorganisms. So just spread the cut borage across the surface as mulch. In sandy soil, you'll want to aim for a layer that's at least 2 inches thick. Then give it a good watering and let it break down over time. As the mulch decomposes, it releases nutrients, slowly locking them into the upper layers of soil instead of letting them wash away. For even better results, you can sprinkle a handful of aged compost or worm castings on top. This adds beneficial microbes that'll, really speed up the process. Now let's talk about how to integrate borage into a crop rotation plan. If you're already growing vegetables or herbs, just think of borage as a companion and restorer. It's especially beneficial before or after heavy feeders like tomatoes, peppers, or squash. For example, after harvesting tomatoes in late summer, sow borage in the same bed and let it grow until frost. By spring, that bed will be loose, dark, and full of organic life, ready for the next crop. For gardeners with raised beds, try this schedule. In the first season, dedicate 1/3 of the bed to borage. In the next season, rotate your vegetable crops into that improved section and plant borage in another third. Within 3 years, you'll have evenly improved soil structure across all your beds without ever adding synthetic fertilizer or excessive compost. How to boost borage's soil benefits with simple ratios. Borage works best when combined with moisture-retaining organic matter. One effective mix for sandy soil improvement is 1 part chopped borage biomass to 2 parts composted material or leaf mold. If you're creating a new bed, layer about 4 inches of this mix across the top and lightly cover with mulch. Water thoroughly and keep it damp for at least a week to help microbial activity begin. For a quick soil conditioner, you can make a borage tea. Just fill a 5-gallon bucket about 2/3 full with chopped borage leaves and stems, then add water right up to the top and let it steep for about a week. Be sure to give it a good stir every day. Once it's ready, dilute 1 part of this liquid with 5 parts water and apply it directly to the soil around your plants. This method delivers a fast nutrient boost while, really enhancing microbial life at the root zone. The long-term benefits you'll notice in your garden, well, they're honestly remarkable. After a full season of using borage in sandy soil, the difference becomes obvious. The soil becomes darker, richer, and holds water longer. Even during dry spells, you'll find that plants wilt less and bounce back faster. Earthworms begin to appear, organic matter accumulates naturally, and beneficial fungi create visible networks when you turn over the mulch. This is soil regeneration at its simplest and most natural form. No chemicals, no overworking, and no quick fixes. So, just a few closing thoughts for every gardener out there. The borage trick isn't a new trend. It's a return to understanding how plants heal the land. Gardeners who adopt it notice that over time their soil begins to take care of itself. Once a patch of sand that needed daily watering can become a living ecosystem that sustains itself year after year. If your garden struggles with sandy soil that drains too quickly or, just lacks life, give borage a try. It's inexpensive, fast-growing, and endlessly beneficial. A plant that works quietly beneath the surface while rewarding you above it. If you found this guide helpful, subscribe to Gentle Herb Living and share this video with a fellow gardener. Together we can bring our soils back to life, 1 root at a time.